There you go. Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Hank, and welcome. That we are going to, you're going to just love this session here on health, wealth, and success. And earlier this morning, I actually, for those of you that are in real estate, you know that one of our areas of service is to help first responders. And so we're meeting with them live in auditoriums. They're practicing social distancing to some degree, and no mask. And it's just great that we're able to be live there. But they have a lot of stress, and they asked me to come in to help them with their stress today, which I did. And so I'm going to actually share with you what I shared with them. And it will reduce your stress, and not only reduce your stress, but increase your success. And I'm also we're going to be, as usual, be very practical, get some really hands-on things that I have. Dr. Bert Herring, he's a world-renowned medical doctor who helps people with stress. And last week, because I knew I was going to be sharing this with you, as well as sharing this with the first responders, that I called him and we talked, and I said, hey, I'd just like to get your take on the on what you would recommend, some hands-on steps for stress. And what's really great is it, of course, all aligns with everything that that we teach here. And so, but it'll be really good and you'll really like it. But let me give you a little background first. And let me see if I got my little clicker here, and should be able to just see here. There we go. So we always start, and we have to start on where all of creation comes from. And it basically is with our thoughts. And so, as you know, all of science has agreed now within the last about 5 years. So it's pretty much hot off the press, if you will, if you look at mankind's history, that have agreed on 3 steps on how creation is made. And that first step is your thoughts start everything. So it doesn't matter what's going on in the world, doesn't matter about anything, it's your thoughts. And earlier before the show here that I was speaking with Matthew about on how he's just awesome on getting into the present moment. And so that's your thoughts, to just enjoy and see the blessing in every moment. And again, that right there, I would write down as far as a really good technique is to get into the present moment and enjoy the leaf, enjoy the clouds, it's just really just an amazing, enjoy your heart beating and all the amazing things that are happening, with your body. But those thoughts, according to the science, those thoughts then create energy. And that energy is really our feelings and our emotion. And so we need to create, and I'm going to change a little the language that in front of first responders, I can't use the word God, and it's because it's by the city and whatever, and they restrict that. But with us guys, we can use that in the universe or higher self, whatever words that fit you best. But that's our communication system too that we'll get into. But our thoughts create this energy, and these are emotions, and it takes at least a minute before we can make contact, if you will, before God receives, the universe receives that signal. And that's why you can't just say something. And it's a good thing. It's kind of a buffer, if you will, because if you say, oh, I hope that person goes to hell, that person might go to hell then, right? That at least you have a minute before you really got to get that energy going. And so thoughts create energy, and then that energy creates matter. And that's why thoughts become things. And today I'm going to share with you that something that most of you have not seen from me, and that is my my understanding on actually there's 4 areas of thought, and we're going to look at those 4 areas of thought. And because it's so important, right? Our thoughts create our experience, and so thus we are the creators of our experience, and our thought is so powerful, it literally can take the energy that creates worlds and turn that energy with our thought into our experience, anything that we want. And so I'm going to give you some very, again, hands-on understanding and next steps for you to reduce your stress, but also to increase your success. And so we're going to look at the 4 areas, and if you're not driving that, or if you want to pull over, or if you're sitting there, that I would suggest you take notes on this. This is something, again, that I created. I in essence channeled it into understanding years ago, and it has helped thousands of people to be able to really get a grip on their thoughts and be able to kind of compartmentalize it. And that's what's helpful for us, is to be able to, with our mind, be able to put our different thought processes into different departments. So there's 4 departments. There's 3 red zones that I call that are not good for you. They're thinking either about not deliberately about what you want, or mainly it's thinking about what you don't want, and deliberately and both non-deliberately. And then the green zone, and how we can now start going and start thinking in the green zone. And the beauty of this is that it's easy. All of us can do it, and it all takes within a couple of minutes. You can be right there living in that green zone. But again, it's good to have this background information. So we're going to first understand the first zone is we're thinking about what we want, but we're thinking about it non-deliberately. And this is a red zone. This is where we're just being reactive to life. That, you know, we read something on Facebook, we read something on watch something on TV, and we just kind of get sucked into it, and or we you know, just go out during the day. We don't pre-pave our day. We just kind of go out like every episode. So one of the techniques that I would suggest you write down and you start doing is what I call episode intending. And that's where you take every episode of the day. So if you're going to get in the car, that you say, hey, I'm going to have this drive. It's going to be I'm going to drive safely. It's going to be just flow, that my travels flow easily, that I'm going to even enjoy myself. And so that's what I asked for when I was driving this morning to the first responders. And I'll be darned if I don't see made out in clouds a couple of angels. And I'm just going like, this is just so much fun. And then I realized, oh, that's right, I asked for fun. And see, ask and you shall receive. But if you don't ask for it, you get it by default. Well, in this zone, this is reactive. This is where I'm just bumping up against life, and I kind of get it the way that I want it. And I get life by default then. And that decreases my success and increases my stress. And one kind of exaggerated example, if you will, it's kind of like the parachutist. And so let's say we're in a plane right now, and we're going to go parachute, and we jump out of the plane, and all of a sudden we remember that we forgot one thing. And what's that one thing? Our parachute. Okay, hang on, it'll be over soon. And so a lot of us are that way, that we're just reacting to life, and we're thinking about what we want, but we're doing it after already the momentum has happened. So a deal goes south, and then we think, oh, what do I want? I want this deal to go the other way, but it's too late, and you get the momentum. And so life, we are the creators of this momentum. And so we're like in a stream, in a river flowing down, and what kind of momentum are we getting out of this? And so we all want to make sure that we're going downstream, the path of least resistance, and the lighted path that we'll get to as you live in the green zone. So that's what I don't want, and I do it non-deliberately. Then there's another red zone, and it's about thinking about what I don't want, and I'm doing it non-deliberately. So I just, let's say Saturday morning, I wake up and I say, hey, I want to clean out the garage or the closet, whatever. And then I get some coffee, and then, I'm looking at Facebook, and I turn on the TV. Pretty soon it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And so basically what happens is I'm just doing busy work, okay? I'm not doing really important things that will be helpful to achieve my desires and goals. And again, always on action, you want to do inspired action and not just do, because remember, if I keep on doing, I get do. And a lot of people say, hey, that's what I got in my life. I got this shit. And so we want to not be in there. And with that busy work, it's almost like a so what attitude. And again, it's all thinking. And remember, your thoughts create everything in your experience. So already we've looked at these two zones now, where I'm thinking about what I want non-deliberately, and then I get life by default. Then I'm thinking what I don't want non-deliberately, and a bunch of busy work. And what happens is it decreases my success and it increases my stress. So the next zone is really a one to be aware of, and that is where I'm thinking about what I don't want, and I'm doing it deliberately. How many times have you deliberately been thinking about stuff you don't want? Okay, like maybe what's going on in this world right now, and your committee just keeps on going because, oh, you saw this statement and this opinion in Facebook, and saw the news and saw a coffin and whatever. And again, they're looking for the one out of millions, literally, it's one out of millions. And then they're showing that to you. And what that's doing is that gets into our committee. And so imagine, what is the committee? The committee members are in your head, and they're what I call your smaller self. And so imagine that there's this beautiful mahogany table, and there are different players with beautiful leather chairs, by the way, executive chairs that you have built for these all powerful things. And those powerful things are your committee members, called fear and worry and doubt and complaining. Just go around the table: complaining, blame, shame, guilt. Okay, all those are simply committee members. They're in your smaller mind, not your higher self, your lower self. And if there's any devil in the world, it's that devil. And so, and you've seen it where people think this is just the end of the world now, and it actually has been proven that that it actually is less of a killer than any flu is. That, it's just like, hey, it's just not a big deal. But again, people will fight for their lack and limitation, and where they're fighting from, and that point is their committee members. And typically the committee also thinks about what was. And so your past typically really isn't your friend. You're at a new vibration, you're at a new thinking process, you're dealing with different people, whatever. But we use the past and we rely on it. And so then we were told in the past, oh, these people aren't very good, or this person isn't nice, or whatever. It's kind of like, I use the example of, Uncle Joe at Thanksgiving, that Uncle Joe is just the worst. Well, the more that you think Uncle Joe is the worst, the more worser is Uncle Joe. Okay, and so you're in control of it. You literally could make Uncle Joe divine and angelic. Everybody can be Alpha and Omega, really kind, divine, angelic, and really not. But you're the determiner of there. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about, my father-in-law, where Sharon said he was going to be so rough, tough, mean, won't call me by my name. And hell, by the time we were done, because I said, hey, I don't believe that. Sharon does, but I think Sledge is going to be great. His name's Sledge. And I think he's going to be great and wonderful. We're going to have a great time. And sure enough, we did, because it's the way that I thought. But see, Sharon's past experience prevented her from seeing the divinity in her own own dad. Well, all of us can see the divinity in ourselves as well as each other, but this committee gets in the way. It's the thing that wakes you at 2 o'clock in the morning and you just can't get to sleep. It keeps on, you keep on thinking about it, thinking about it, thinking about it. And in fact, that, a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to go to a behavioral psychologist like myself, a psychiatrist, and I'm going to lay on their couch and I'm going to figure out what the problem is. Well, good luck with that. That what will happen is you'll just continue to dig up that more and more, and there's no end to it. And so what we do, we have a way, and I'm going to show you a way today, where we're going to actually tap into our subconscious mind, and that you're going to be able to improve your beliefs because it's done unto you as you believe, and you're going to be able to take those beliefs in that committee, and you're going to be able to say bye-bye to the committee. In fact, one of the first responders this morning, when I was talking about the committee, afterwards I said, what did you like best, or what did you get out of it? And one lady, she said, hey, what I love is that I just fired my committee. And so all of us want to fire our committee, right? But you want to do it gently. Don't put a lot of energy into it. Just go bye-bye. And off they will go, because you are the commander and you can call it the way that you want it. And so it's also thinking about what I don't want. And the committee is really good thinking about what we don't want, being guarded, preparing plan B if plan A and what we want doesn't work. Well, what you do is you split that energy. Quit planning plan B, okay? Go to plan A and expect to have it. If you start planning other things on, oh, well, if this doesn't work, I'm going to do this, that what you're doing, again, is splitting that energy, and you're not going to get plan A, and you probably won't get, somewhere in between plan A and plan B. And if plan B is really bad, you're not going to get very good if you get something in there. It's kind of like, the red and the yellow equals orange, and you get oranges. And so we don't want to get oranges. We don't want a plan B. We just want plan A, and we're going to get it. And so I have the confidence in knowing that you have the power to do that. And so again, all those committee members, their fear, worry, doubt, complaining, blaming, shame, and guilt, and we're going to just let them go, because they are our main one that decreases our success and increases our stress. And so again, this is mainly focused today on how can I decrease my stress? Well, you have now discovered where all your stress is coming from. This is it, these 3 areas. It reminds me of the 8-year-old boy I helped, who he was, because it all comes from our thoughts, okay? And so the 8-year-old boy, he's on his bed, he's crying, he's shivering, and he's just terrified. And his parents called me in and asked me, could you please help this young man, our son? And I said, sure. So I went in, sat on his bed, and I said, hey, how do you feel? And he said, not good. And I said, well, the good news about that is that's your communication system with God. When you don't feel good, it means you're not thinking about this like God is. And I said, and so I started sharing some information with him about how if he'll play out in the park without a mask on, he'll have that fresh air, and it actually creates antibodies. I also shared with him that nobody's dying from this that is young like him. And I say, you're just fine. In fact, you want to play with your friends and be around them. You build antibodies that way. That's for thousands of years. And the little boy was just looking at me, big-eyed, going, really? Oh, my gosh, really? Because he had bought into all of the stuff that got him. Where did it get him? Even if, let's say, it's true, okay, then what do you want to do? Create more truth, or do you want to create the life that you want to? So that little boy decided, hey, I don't care if it's true or not, or whatever I've heard, that this is what I'm going to hang my hat on, if you will. And within 10 minutes, just because he changed his thoughts, I didn't give him a shot. I didn't give him a pill, okay? All I did was change his thoughts. And when I changed his thoughts, 10 minutes later, he goes running out to his mom and dad and hugs them and is so happy and says, I want to go play out in the park. And the parents are happy and everybody is happy there forevermore. And that's how it can be. But do you see that it's all in the power of our thoughts? So these are the three zones we don't want to live in. And by the way, I would share this with your family members, and it's kind of fun, like to talk to them and say, hey, are you in the red zone there? Or are you in the green zone? I literally have changed cultures, IBM, Chase, John Deere, the largest lens manufacturer in the world, Essilor, that literally changed their culture and improved their culture. And one of the ways is that we would tease each other, kind of wake up each other on, oh, is that the committee members, or is that you thinking in the green zone? So what is the green zone? The green zone is talking about what I do want, and it's me being very deliberate. Me deliberately pre-paving my day, my life. And so let me give you some things that you can actually write down. Again, if you're driving, don't write it down, stop, pull over, that whatever. But here are some great thoughts that will lead you to being in the green zone and lead you to a better life. That thoughts like, I want to have a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. And don't you? Yeah. But you have to ask for it. Like, how many people do you think in the last 3 months have been asking for a healthy life? They've been saying, I hope I don't get sick, which that then is a committee member, because if you're focused on sickness, you'll get sick. You're only attracting sickness there. And the kicker on that too is you attract cooperative components to what is. So if you're talking about sickness, then other things don't go very well and you're sick to your stomach because the business isn't good or whatever. In fact, one of the reasons why I'm also doing stress is and stress management, how to reduce your stress and we've identified where stress is. Now we're identifying how to get rid of the stress. And that the beauty is, like, I have some agents that have so much business now because they've done what I've asked them to do, that they contact me and say, oh, I'm so stressed out. So then I gave them the techniques on how to unstress yourself, because nothing's going on. Like, right now, if you're stressed about something, it's not like somebody has you locked in a jail. But speaking of that, locked in a jail, and I had one of our first responders last week came up to me afterwards and said, listen, I'm really in a jam. I got a guy about 5 years ago, I arrested him, and this guy is after me. He's after me, and he's posting stuff on Facebook, and he's terrified me and my family. In fact, we have put up cameras now all around our house. We have double locked all the doors and the windows, and we are all really fearful. So I started to ask him, because I know how the committee makes things, whatever you focus on grows, and I know how the committee focusing on what you don't want grows. So I asked him, I said, well, so tell me, have you been in contact, have you seen this person personally in the last 5 years? He said, no. I said, well, how many posts has he done? He said, 1. I said, he did 1 post. How long ago? He said, about 3 years ago. 3 years ago. And I said, what was the post about? He said, well, it had a picture of my house and then just with my name on it. And I said, so no threats or anything, just a picture of his house. And so for years, that in their mind, and so think, and this is one of the reasons why we appreciate and are so appreciative of the service that our first responders do, because they go through situations. But that's where I come in to help them realize that you're actually attracting people that don't like you, that are after you, that, bad things are happening. And look what, and I said to him, that look what you've done to your family, because you've given them these thoughts. They didn't have any thoughts about this guy, and you gave them thoughts on this guy hasn't even contacted you in the last 3 years. And if anybody wants to kill you or anybody else, I mean, all you do is walk outside your door and they can shoot you, right? But that's not going to happen because we're not going to think about that. That you get what you think about, whether you like it or not. And so let's not think about the bad guys. Let's think about the good guys, the kind and loving people like each one of you, the deep, meaningful relationships that we have together, that's what we're going to think about. And then you know what we get? We get more of them, and we get deeper relationship between us. And so this is all just a beautiful, beautiful world, and you're in control. No disease, no virus is in control, no bad guys in control, nobody's, you're in control. This is an inside job, folks, and it's your thoughts and your feelings. So we talked about this is how to, where stress comes from. Now we're going to talk on how to get out of it and living in that green zone where you become a deliberate creator, where you deliberately plan your life. So other thoughts on, I want to be happier. I want to have better feeling thoughts, okay? This is your asking, this is your prayer. I want to laugh more today. I want to have more fun today. I want to play more today. And by the way, with this group, like this morning, they weren't laughing. They were just sitting there, you know, whatever, kind of like, oh, I got to go through this training, whatever. And remember, I give away everything free. And so, you know, it's free to them, but, you know, they don't even probably even believe that they, you know, that whatever. But because I asked that they would be open, I wanted them to have open hearts and open minds, that we had them talking, shaking their heads, we had them laughing, okay, that, so all of them, and when I say we, it's me and my angels. And so I asked my angel, hey, go gather, and then their angels, because really all of us want to laugh, we all want to enjoy ourselves, we all want to smile more, and we can. It doesn't do any good to fight against anything. All it does is get bigger. So what you should do instead of fight against, is love for, and just love yourself. Be kind to yourself. You know who the worst person is in the whole wide world? To you, is you. You know, we say these just horrendous things to ourselves, and it's now time, and right now, I'm going to be kinder to myself. I'm going to love myself, and I'm going to be kinder to others, and I'm going to love others. So living in this green zone, it's where good feeling thoughts, where you have these good feeling thoughts. And we just talked about a bunch of them. I want a long, happy, healthy, wealthy life. Don't you? Yes. Just be general like that, and don't be too specific. That God does the work, the Father does the work. So you just ask, and then you'll be given thoughts and people and circumstances and events that will make your heart sing, my friend. And so you're the inviter of what you want. And so it's like we have a magic wand, okay? We have that magic wand, and we're sitting there, and we go, like, and everybody in the whole universe is listening. When I say everybody non-physical, and all this beautiful energy is there, and your magic wand is your thoughts. And so as you raise up your magic wand, as you raise up your thoughts and the things that you want, that all that is comes and brings you and starts gathering up all the things. So you are the inviter, you're the conductor, you're the commander, you're it, and you're able to get that by you being able to think of the thoughts of what you do want, to invite in what you want, and to think about what will be. And so another thing I'd love you to write down is that I'm looking forward to my bright future now. Okay, I'm looking forward to my bright future now. What a beautiful thing. Yeah, my future is just brighter now. More wonderful things are going to come. And so, you know, if you want to have faith, if you want to have trust, this is where it is. This is where it is for you to have faith and trust, knowing that God, the universe, all that is, your higher self, that it's going to bring. Because, you know, like just the word God, it's not physical, right? It's not, you can't see it, you can't touch it. And our senses aren't very reliable anyways. I'm looking out right now on the 15th floor in a beautiful forest, and it looks, I could swear the world is flat, but it's round. So don't rely on your senses, but rely on your inner self and your feelings. So when you live in the green zone, having these good feeling thoughts, it'll increase your success and it'll decrease your stress. So raise a hand. How many of you want to live in the green zone? I do. I do. Yeah, yay. And so we can all do it, and we all have the power to do it. And again, within 1 minute, you can be right there. And I'll always remember, I have Matthew on right now, but I'll always remember he took a picture of just this drop, like a raindrop that was on a leaf. And he did it, I think, last year. And it was just the most beautiful, precious picture. And just to enjoy that moment, and for all of us to be able to say, hey, I'm going to start enjoying. I'm not going to be looking at things that I don't like or don't want. And so now I'm going to get into the subconscious mind, because actually we have two minds. And so we've been told we're really powerful. We can ask and then receive, but most of us say, where's our stuff? Well, where our stuff is, it's buried and it's being delayed, it's being slowed down because of our subconscious mind. So we have our conscious mind, and our conscious mind should be used only to identify what we want and why we want it. And I would really write that down, is your conscious mind. Just think what you want and why you want it, not the how. That's God's job. That's the universe's job on the how. The Father does the work. And so for you to be able to say, I'm just going to focus on what I want and why I want it. And as I do it, so, I want more business. Why? I just love to serve people. I love money. Money gives me more variety, more choices. And so you just go on and on. I love the expression of helping other people and us being so happy when they put their key into the door, or whatever experience. If you're not in real estate, it's that, hey, I want more money for the same purposes, more variety, more choices, that I want to be happier. And so we can all do it. But now in our subconscious mind, it follows everything the conscious mind has thought. And so when I say has thought, it, in fact, the subconscious mind has remembered everything since your conception, every thought, feeling, and experience that you have had. And it has a dominant opinion about every subject under the sun. And that dominant opinion, my friend, is your beliefs on everything under the sun. So it has accumulated from your conscious mind on how you have taken consciously circumstances and events, and how you then felt after thoughts become feelings, okay? How you felt, and it's taken all that and has an opinion. The reason why most people don't have much money, or as much money as they want, is because they've been brought up, their subconscious mind has the belief that money, the filthy rich, so I don't want to be filthy, so I'm not going to be rich, that money doesn't grow on trees, when in fact it does. In Florida, there's billions of dollars worth of grapefruits and orange trees. That in this one, the root of all evil is money. Back in Christ's time, when that was written, that money was, wealth was considered on how many sheep you had. And so, so instead of carrying a sheep under my arm and exchanging that to pay for my bills, that, we use money, okay? And certainly the root of all evil isn't some sheep, okay? So it's a matter of us just changing, improving those beliefs. But how do you do it? You don't even know what your dominant belief is in a lot of those things, because it's buried in your subconscious mind. Well, I have an answer that I'm going to give you today. Because if we could only get into our subconscious mind and re-engineer those dominant thoughts, those beliefs, we could get our stuff. And it's like, oh my God, if I just start looking, just looking out right now, I'm looking out at the blue sky and just saying, yeah, blue sky is ahead of me now. And, for me, and the heavens are parting for me, and just get into that. The more that you get into that, God knows exactly where you are, what you want, and how to get there. And the better that you feel, the faster you'll get to what you want. And you'll get there in a miraculous ways that you could have never figured out. But you will then allow and receive these divine ideas, people and circumstances and events to give you your goodies, if you will. So to every desire that you have, there is a solution. When you ask God for more money, that God makes more money. It doesn't take away from anybody. That's the beauty of this whole thing, is that there were no billionaires 50 years ago. Okay, now there's over 1,500 billionaires. Where'd the money come from? Did we import it from some other planet? No, we asked for it and God gave us more. And so the beauty is that we can ask for it and we can have it all without infringing on anybody. In fact, it'll benefit all, because as you thrive, so the world thrives. So our thoughts create, my friend. And so right now, you can start watching your thoughts. Ask yourself, what thoughts are you having? Most people that don't accept new ideas until at least the sixth time. So where are you with allowing these ideas? And like I told my dear first responders this morning, that, if anything, why don't you just try it for a couple of days? And try what, you ask? I'll tell you exactly. Try writing down those good feeling thoughts that I gave you. I want to smile more. That asking, that is your asking, that's your prayer. Write those down every day. If you'll write those down every day, I guarantee you that God will find ways for you to smile more, laugh more, and have better health and all the things that you wanted to do. Now, we've been told the word is powerful, and it is very powerful, and here's why. Word is simply articulated thought, and everything comes from our thought. It doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It only matters what's going on in the kingdom within us, and that's our thoughts and our feelings. So words are simply articulated thought and are even more powerful then, because we put thought into the physical being and actually speaking it, if you will. So eliminate words like it's coming or tomorrow. No, everything is here right now. What you have asked for, that you have it in energy form, ready for you to accept it and receive it. You just need to ease up, lighten up, have better feeling thoughts. And if you could just have good feeling thoughts all day, that it is only possible to have good feeling results and a better life, and you'll be healthier, happier, wealthier, all of those things that you want, because God knows exactly what you want and knows exactly the path to get there. And I'm sharing with you that the path to get there is to this good feeling, on having these good feeling thoughts. It'll give you better feelings, because as you raise your feelings, you raise your point of attraction to all the things that you desire. So not going to get, because if you say tomorrow, then the subconscious mind says, okay, tomorrow is fine. And tomorrow never comes, because when tomorrow is there, it's today. And so you need to, I can't, or I'm going to try. It gives the subconscious mind an excuse to say, well, I'm just going to try. They're just going to try. So, they may or may not get it. Or I think, I think maybe that'll do it. Instead, replace with these words, that it's here now, and it is here now. You got to believe that, hey, nobody's ever shown you a physical thought, right? But you have thoughts, so you got to believe in the non-physical. Nobody has shown you a feeling per se, other than you see feelings of joy and everything. But that feeling, that's the non-physical. And so why don't we just assume now that when we ask, that it's here in energy form, and now we just allow it in. So it's here. And it's here when? Now. Now is the time. Now is the time when the subconscious mind, it stands to attention, says, okay, I'll do it. It's here. And then to have, okay, so that I love having it now, okay, to play. So use fun words, lighten up. I don't use work anymore. That I'm going to go, where are you going today, honey? Hey, I'm going to go play. I mean, it just changes the whole attitude. All the angels, all that energy of play come rallying around you and say, yeah, let's go play. And and I know that, I know this is the truth, and I do know this is the truth. I've helped thousands of people, and it's going to help you now. And it's going to be just so grand, and it's going to help all of us, because all of us are going to be more playful, more fun, deeper, more meaningful relationships with all of us. So tapping into our subconscious mind. What we want is in our conscious mind. And what we believe we can have is in our subconscious mind. So remember, those are our beliefs, and when we have agreement between our two minds, we will receive that which we ask for. So in Matthew 17, it says, when two of you come together and agree, it shall be manifested on earth. The two of you doesn't mean two people, you and Joe. It means your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, and when they come into agreement. And so I want to just make sure that we understand our emotional guidance system before I give you the answer on how we're going to tap into our subconscious mind and get that agreement. And so it's all in our feelings. When we feel bad, it means we're off track. When you're thinking about the virus and that you're helpless and disempowered, it's just not true. And that's why you feel bad. And so what we do is we just pay attention. You don't even have to monitor your thoughts. An even easier path is to monitor your feelings. How are you feeling? If you're feeling bad, right away, wake up and say, you know what? I'm not thinking about this the way God is, the way universe is, the way my higher self is. But when I feel good, baby, I am on track. I am on my lighted path, and I am going to, because I am feeling good, that I am going to be on that track, on that path of least resistance, most allowing to all the things that we desire. So I'm going to share with you, so one of the ways to tap into the subconscious mind is to write down those good feeling thoughts that I gave you every day and ponder them and during the day. And you can even do index cards and put them. I have all kinds of different index cards around by the bathroom, on the mirror, you know, written in a little kinky, written in lipstick, you know, I got some things, but they're not I am rich. Because see, if I go, I am high, when I go, I am rich, that my conscious mind, my subconscious mind says bullshit. Okay, because the subconscious mind says, hey, you've been saying you don't have enough money for years. You've been saying it's the root of all evil. You know, you've been blah, 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 blah. So that's why you can't just go, or I am healthy. That's not going to work, because there isn't this agreement between the conscious and the subconscious mind. So for you to have that agreement, that we use easier words. So like, I want to laugh more today. No problem. Your subconscious mind says, hey, great. I want to be happier today. No problem. I want to have better feeling thoughts today. Ooh, no problem. In fact, I'm going to give you a magical sentence right now that if you will write down 21 times per day, first thing typically in the morning, that it'll change your life. And here it is, that I easily accept, so I easily accept better feeling thoughts. I easily accept better feeling thoughts. And I am prepared to increase my health, wealth, and success now. Boom. That, my friends, and that's like a yes. And when you put that energy, like if you ever have a good feeling, you just say yes. And what that does is get that energy going more and more. And pretty soon you know it, that you're on your lighted path, skipping along, enjoying life. So I easily accept better feeling thoughts. And I am prepared to increase my health, wealth, and success now. Boom. And so let's dissect that I easily accept better feeling thoughts. Subconscious mind says, no problem. You can easily accept better feeling thoughts. It doesn't have any resistance there, okay? You get agreement there. The prayer, if you will, is answered. That when you then say, and I am prepared, okay? You're just prepared. You're not saying you're it right now, but you are prepared. And your conscious mind says, I am prepared. And the subconscious mind says, yes, I agree with that you are prepared to increase my health, wealth, and success. And then when? Now. And that, my friends, is the magic. That you just write that 21 times every day, and that'll flow into your subconscious mind and the kingdom within, and that you will start now bearing the fruit of all of your dreams. So with that, I want to open it up to everybody. Oh yeah, this was just Keller there. Keller is on there because that's who I just participated with. But I want to open it up to everybody and tell me what did you like best? What are your thoughts? What's the aha, the takeaway on that?
I got one for you.
Okay, great. Hey, Len.
Hey, how's it going, Dr. Henry?
It's going great.
So, of course, I guess the overall deal that I got from it was my brother sent me this YouTube video on thinking positively.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you think, what you put out there in the world.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me think about that going back. It's way too many people think negatively about things, and they never know and can figure out why things aren't going their way.
Yeah.
So it definitely touched me on that, because I've heard people talk about it, and it's been a constant thing that's been repeated over time, and you hear it over and over. And I even have a book that on my an audio book that pretty much talks about it as well. It's a full book, and I listen to it every now and then, and you know, and I said, it was one I downloaded years ago. I mean, well, I guess, years ago. And I just never got around to listening to it until he sent me that video. And now fast forward to now, you're pretty much touching on the same concept. So that was my aha. Too many lines are connecting to it being about the same thing, same reason as to the things you think about, you put out into the world and the universe.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And, you know, it's kind of like one of the ways to look at that is it's like God is knocking on your door, you know, and it typically, sometimes God needs to knock 6 times, you know, it might be 6 years, 6 minutes, whatever, you know, it all varies for all of us. But at some point, all of a sudden the door opens up. In other words, our mind opens up. We're like a parachute, and, you know, our mind works way better when it's open. And so we have to be hit that. And then the good news is for you to just, Len, be so appreciative of, wow, I get it now. And it really is true. And in fact, to put some definition on that, we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of those thoughts typically are negative. So no wonder why, you know, all of this, you know, virus and everything, you know, went bonkers on it. Because people are used to all this negative stuff, you know, and kind of feeding on it. And then even more so is 95% of our thoughts are repetitive. Well, if I keep on thinking the same thoughts, I keep on getting the same results that I've had, the same experience in my life. So this will all help in everything, you know, from our mastermind, because I know you're an agent, that, you know, from our mastermind on Tuesdays to this for everybody on health, wealth, and success. And then tomorrow just for real estate agents to increase their business and wealth. That all 3 of those, what it does is it helps us thinking new thoughts. And man, what a blessing that is. If anything, just get on this to hear new thoughts and get these new thoughts in there, because those new thoughts will lead you to a new and better and brighter life. So that's beautiful. Love it. Other thoughts, comments?
Hey, Dr. Hank.
Hey.
That's okay.
Hey,
I just like the reminder of our strong words so that I'm better at doing my sentences in the morning. And then also the going back to the wants in our conscious and the beliefs in our subconscious and bringing those together. That's always good to remember that little piece.
That's great. And Maria is my, of course, favorite mortgage loan officer, and just the best. I was talking about you yesterday with new homes that you can actually, you know, get some good deals for people on that, and help them when maybe other mortgage companies can't. So I love you, and good to see you, and thank you for your input. In fact, I wanted to share a couple things on this. Dr. Herring, world renowned for stress relief, and he had 5 points, and The first one is he has 5 steps to less stress. And what you do if you're in a stressful situation, and again, you guys may want to write this down. If you're in a stressful situation, you're supposed to identify, see 5 things. So like literally just stop, take a deep breath and say, hey, I see the lamp, I see the trees, I see the sky, you know, whatever. Then 4 things touch 4 things. And then here, 3 things, here, 3 things, 2 things smell, and 1 thing to taste. And so when I thought about that, when he told me that, I said, well, really what you're doing, his name's Bert Herring, and he's a medical doctor. And I said, Bert, really what you're doing is you're just taking the thought off of the problem. And he said, exactly. And I said, well, that's what we do, is that when you can't solve a problem at the level of the problem, says Einstein. So you got to look for the answers and solutions. And that's another great sentence to write down, by the way, is I seek now answers and solutions. That's what I seek and find, answers and solutions. That's a good one. I seek and find answers and solutions. It's kind of knocking at that door again. And when you knock on the door shall be open. And when you seek, you shall find. And so which is just, you know, beautiful. And when you ask, you shall receive. And so, you know, it's been told us. But his second point is, think about a desired place in the future. So I'd like all of us right now to think about, hey, what's a desired place in the future that, you know, that I want to go? And so just, you know, close your eyes and like think, like right now, I'm thinking about Hawaii, which I can't go to. I wanted to go to it in July and they still have it locked down, so I can't go to Hawaii. But I'm thinking about Hawaii and the nice trees dripping, and the water coming in and the beach. Ooh, it's sweet. What did that do? It got your mind off of it. See, because without him understanding it, because he's not a mental science, that actually what he's doing, he's just getting the mind off of everything, okay? And then the third thing he says is breathe. Well, no kidding. What do we teach? Step 2. So it's good feeling thoughts, breathe deeply, and drink lots of water. Those are the only 3 steps that you need. And again, good feeling thoughts, breathe deeply, and breathe. And then the 4th one is relax your body. And the 5th one is meditation. Well, guess what? Every Wednesday we do that. And in fact, we're going to do it right now. So I want you to close your eyes, and for about a minute, I want you to, and again, if you're driving, don't be closing your eyes, pull over, and now close your eyes, and I want you to deep breathe. And so it's 5 seconds in, all the way to your toes, real deep now, and then breathe out. And breathe in relaxation. Breathe in deeply. And continue to breathe in and receive these words and the well-being and love of God that now flows to you, through you, and all around you. Breathe in. Welcome, my friends, to the doorway of your well-being and all of your desires. God and all that is so pleased that you have made a decision to be here and accept these truths as your own. Breathe in and just relax. Say to yourself, relax, quiet your mind, Take the crown, the top of your head, and just open it up wide. And allow the light and love of God to flow down into you now, into your mind, through every cell of your body, into that beautiful heart of yours, pouring God's light and love into your heart, into all of your organs, going down your body, down your hips, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, just being so relaxed and feeling God's love and light flowing in you now, giving you such clarity of mind, such depth of love and kindness, and who you really are. We now come together in co-creation, aligning with who you are and connecting with God Almighty. As we now relax and breathe deeply, focusing softly on these words, you're allowing the gentle tuning of your vibration to the frequency of your desires, the frequency, the level, and the vibration of your angels flying high. As the heavens now part and they flow to you, all of your desires. And the first thing that comes is good feeling thoughts, and then good feelings, and oh my, how good you feel. You are an extension of God, made in the image and likeness of God, and you have come here with great purpose to expand all that is with your thought and with your feelings. This is a beautiful world we live in, with all the contrasts of the things we don't want and the things we want. And we now just briefly, gently rub up against the things we don't want. And we simply say, this is what I don't want. And now we ask and we look towards what we do want. And God shall birth to us new ideas and new feelings, and shall bring to us, we are like magnets now, shiny magnets, that bring to us the people and the circumstances and the events that make our hearts sing, that make our desires come to us. And as we are thriving now, so all around us are thriving. That with that big heart of yours, give that heart, that love from you to you now. And just surround your body, and in your body and every one of your trillions of cells, have it just encompassed and immersed in the love of your heart. Feel that love and feel how good you feel because you are so good. And now I ask that you take that love and breathe in deeply. And now take that love, your heart, and open it up. And allow your love now to flow to your loved ones, to your spouse, your children, your relatives, your friends, to all those that you know. Send your love to them. And now to the world, send your love. And send blessings to them, as blessings and now and love flow back to you forevermore. This is a beautiful life, and we now see it for what it is. It's a life filled with joy and happiness, and all the health and wealth and abundance that we desire. The mantra of God is more, and we are at the leading edge, providing that more to God and all that is. It makes our hearts sing. It makes God smile. It makes the angels sing and play their harps. It's a glorious time to be alive and to be on this cutting edge with the power of our thoughts to create it the way that we want it. Life shall continually call forth more, and all that is benefits from the important part, the important role that you play in the entire universe. You are a divine being, And the past, present, and future is now seen by you as blessings. Now relax, breathe deeply, and be in a pure state of appreciation for all that you are, for your past, for your present moment, and this beautiful, glorious present moment, and the bright future that is now yours. So breathe in deeply. The fastest way to connect with God is through your breath. And now relax. And I'm going to count from 5 to 1. And on 1, you're going to open up your eyes and feel just terrific. And 5, you begin to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. 4, you realize that there is so much more now for you. And 3, you are with glee. And it is just so divine. And all the blessings that flow to you now, everlasting, your cup overflows. And 2, you begin to enter back into the room. You become aware of your body sitting there and your surroundings. And now 1, open up your eyes and welcome to this magnificent, beautiful thing that we call life. I feel good, la da 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 da, like I knew that I would. So good, so good. How are you guys feeling? Woohoo! So there you go. There you go. Any other last minute thoughts, comments? How you feeling? Feeling good, good, good.
Well, Dr. Hank, if I may,
yeah, Danny.
did I understand you to say that you couldn't say God in front of police officers?
Well, that the city requests that I don't use the God word and Bible and stuff. That we have had a few circumstances with some HR people where they said, stop putting your beliefs on other people. And so we have treaded lightly on that, even though I sneak it in all the time, Danny.
Well, I would like to ask, which city told you that?
I'm not going to tell on that.
Because Ben retired from Ben that I retired from the Dallas Police Department, we talked about God every day.
That's awesome. That's
and I
awesome.
saw many police officers who said they didn't believe in God. Anytime we had an officer killed in the line of duty, we had all types of prayer going on.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry a city told you that, because without God, there could not even be a city.
Right.
Thank you for what you do, sir, and thank you for slipping it in every chance you get.
Yeah, well, thank you, Danny, and love you. Thank you for your service as a police officer and a successful real estate agent, and we really appreciate you. And with that, let's do a little singing, everybody, that I'll unmute everybody so we can hear your adorable voices. Let me see if I can find my pointer here. Oh, there it is. And unmute all. And so you're unmuted. And we like to laugh and have more fun. We like to laugh and have more fun. For we are the chosen ones. For we are the chosen
one.
Health is our new fun game. Health
is our new fun game.
Happy is our middle name.
And happy is our middle name.
We are focused on well-being.
We are focused on well-being.
This is now what we are seeing. This is what we are seeing. Well-being is our divine light.
Well-being is our divine light.
The universe is our guiding light. The universe is our guiding light. Guys, I love you. That I'm going to turn off the recording. I'll still be on if you have any questions, thoughts. But I love you all and know that it's all getting better. If you're a real estate agent or want to become one, you want to see tomorrow at noon your GPS to real estate success. And we're here every Wednesday, health, wealth, and success. So love you all. Take care. And we just stopped the recording. Hey, hey, hey.
Thank you, Dr. Hank, for a great hour.